Welcome back to my backyard snack yard. We're in the middle of September and I just wanted to share this gorgeous sunflower. It's looking so autumnal. Look at those sunset colors on it. It actually came from a packet of mixed seeds, so I don't know if it was meant to be like this, but it's absolutely stunning. I'm definitely going to save the seeds for next year. But what I wanted to show you right now is something completely different. It's this little beauty. I've been to a garden centre and this guy was available and I just had to have it. I've actually been looking for one ever since mine were killed by the builders. We had some builders come back in April to fix our roof and a few plants died, and amongst them were my 2 rhubarb plants. They just have not recovered. So this one is going to be a really beautiful replacement. And it's had some really great reviews because I did read them afterwards. This one is called Raspberry Red. So I'll just read you some of what they say about it. It is basically a recent cultivar they've developed, which is able to produce deep red thick stalks without the need for forcing. Usually you'd have to put a cloche over them to keep them dark, and then they get really bright red, otherwise they go a bit green. But I don't mind either way, honestly. Usually I pick them when they're green. They still taste the same to me, but people like to see them red for some reason. It's also a relatively early cropper, which is always a benefit. You want to get using the fruits as soon as possible, and it has a deliciously sweet flavor. I just need to find a nice sunny spot for it where I can stay and just settle in all next year, and then by 2025 I'll be able to pick my first stalks for a really beautiful rhubarb pie. So exciting. It's actually a very nostalgic plant for me to have, if that's the word for it, because it's the one that we always had in my childhood gardens. It's actually sort of a very traditional plant to have in a Danish vegetable garden for sure. We have a tongue twister, which is also known as our national dessert, and it is called rødgrød med fløde. It can be translated into red porridge with cream. It's a really lovely sort of summer dish, and it's often made with strawberries as well as rhubarbs, and we used to mix those 2 things up and then have it with cream, and it's such a delicious thing. We always had it every summer, so I've really missed having him in the garden, but hopefully in a year's time we'll be picking them again. It does need to settle in now. If I look at it really closely, this plant here, it looks like it has 3 crowns. Look down here. So this one definitely is the main one, I think. But it's definitely a good grower, so I'm just going to put them all together. I'm not going to separate them or anything. I just really want to get it going, get it growing. I'm going to find a good spot for it. This area, which is getting a bit weedy now. Look at this. These guys always come up. They spring up everywhere. They are part of this enormous budley I have here, because it does send off seeds. Look here. It's so big. So it sends off little seeds everywhere. It's quite jungly at the moment. Everything is really at this time of year. But yeah, I've got this big mass of strawberry plants here, which I'm going to thin out. And I was planning on putting the rhubarb somewhere in, you know, away from everything, but it does need lots of sunlight, and I really do want it to grow well. So I'm actually just going to dig out an area here in the middle, possibly. Here, I'm thinking, actually, is towards the edge of it, where it will get lots of sunlight, and just let it grow right here, have a good spot all on its own in front of some of the beautiful yellow raspberries that we still have coming here. They just keep on going all the time. Look at this. There's loads here. And the berries themselves are really large. And really tasty too. So yeah, I'm going to put him somewhere here, dig a hole, clear out that area, and pop my rhubarb in. There it is. I've popped it in there. It looks like it's always been there, and I'm just watering it in with some very brown looking water. It is rainwater mixed with some of my worm farm tea, which doesn't sound that great, but it's just really healthy and full of nutrients. Hopefully we'll be picking some rhubarbs at least by 2025. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.